In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. I listened to this amazing podcast called Oh No, Rose and Carrie, where two journalists, Ross Butcher and Carrie Poppy, take their time to immerse themselves on different paranormal claiming and fringe science groups. To give you a first-hand experience, they say they show up so you don't have to. Of what they see, they give you an experience of what they see and what they meet. The people really is what ends up being a transformation for them most of the time. But it is really well named because listening to the show, you would eventually say or think, oh no. And surely there are things and events that are recorded in our Christian scriptures that make us go, oh no. I really think that listen attentively should make us go, oh no, with today's reading. It is a marvelous story, but the whole scene where 450 prophets of Baal start cutting themselves to their God was my oh no moment. It is really a compelling picture of what happens there. However, allows me to state the obvious part of the story. And it is not that Baal doesn't listen or went out for Memorial Day weekend, as Elijah cunningly suggested. The prophets might actually be the problem. I want you to consider the fact that there is an underlying problem with the entire story. And that is that ultimately nothing that we do influences God. The initial question is whether or not this God Baal can be our God. Our struggle is much more than that. God acts in response not to the faithfulness of the prophets. Rather, God acts already in the gathering of the community. In the end, the naming of God as the God of their ancestors positions the way we see God, the way our gospel is built in the legacy and sacrifices of those who came before us, just the same way our churches are built today. And it is our call and our responsibility to respond to such a gift by our actions and participation. In part, this is why I really love our talent appeal that we just had here in Trinity and that continues on in this Trinity appeal. Many of us have talents to serve and to contribute in more ways than just economics. Our presence here today is already a contribution for the good of the world. Our actions outside of these walls mark our commitment to the gospel of Jesus Christ and our God. Elijah is asking us a very striking question. How long would you go limping, serving two different gods? If Baal is your God, serve Baal. If Yahweh is your God, follow Yahweh. You see, the question is both a challenge and a call. Our hearts can be divided. Neither God is presented in our reading as being better than the other. In fact, the only sense of value falls into understanding our true God as our God. That in itself is a challenge. If we understand God as our God, that means many different things for many of us. Notice that in the reading, it is not a prescription for righteousness or sinfulness. It is about gathering. The bottom line is that what we do day to day, in a more intentional way, what we do here on Sundays, really matter. Elijah, after setting up the altar, gathers its people in. Right away, the difference is paramount. It is not about 450 prophets doing sacrificial works. It is about everyone together gathering in. It is about God calling us and God telling us, come closer to me. I want you to reflect on your lives. And as we move through this week and move into the summer, reflect on those things, on those 450 prophets that called you away, that make you think that what we do and that what we proclaim is different. Ultimately, the message of Elijah mirrors what the Apostle Paul is saying. If our gospel is not to elevate our human family, to gather in, to unity and to heal, to comfort and to feed, it is not the gospel of Jesus Christ. And our God is not Yahweh. Elijah today asks us to stand at the crossroads, to see the world as God sees it, calling us to unity and love, saying, come closer to me. I struggle with this very much. And as I ponder my own call, my position in this society as a Hispanic male, and I hear the loud voices of hate and racism, I struggle. I wonder at what point my call and the call of this prophet intersect. And I don't mean by saying that I feel called to be a prophet, but to listen into his call, to listen to what the prophet is saying of come closer to me. The striking reality is that what we don't know, or at least what I don't know, is if I'm getting any closer to God. But the blessing and the challenge resides precisely in that struggle. That is why we probably, and without hesitation, can identify with the centurion of the gospel. To our little faith and our great desire, confronted with a God who not only calls us, but comes closer to us and comes without any hesitation to our aid, then that should move us to say, Lord, I am not worthy for you to enter into my roof, but only say the word, and I shall be healed.